Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Shloka Day. Today's Shloka is the very last Shloka of the 10th chapter, Shloka number 42. Athava bahunaitena
अथवा बहुनैतेन
Jnatena tavarjuna
किं ज्ञातेन तवार्जुन
Vishtabhyahamidam kritsnam
द्विष्टभ्याहमिदं कृत्स्नम्
Ekamshena sthito jagat.
एकांशेन स्थितो जगत्.
Word for word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Athava
अथवा
or bahuna
बहुना
many
many
etena
एतेन
by this kind
by this kind
kim
किं
what
what
jnatena
ज्ञातेन
by knowing
by knowing
tava
tava
your
your
Arjuna
Arjuna
O Arjuna
O Arjuna
Vishtabhya
Vishtabhya
pervading
pervading
aham
aham
I
idam
this
this
kritsnam
kritsnam
entire
entire
eka
eka
by one amshena
amshena
part sthitaha am situated jagat universe. Translation. But what need is there, Arjuna,
but what need is there, Arjuna,
for all this detailed knowledge? With a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support this entire universe. So the Lord is concluding this particular chapter with a question. Actually, why do you need to know all of this? All you need to know is, with one amsha of mine, I am supporting this entire universe. So usually Prabhupada writes a detailed purport when it's the last shloka, and he uses this opportunity to try and summarize the chapter. So Prabhupada writes, the Supreme Lord is represented throughout the entire material universes by his entering into all things as the Supersoul. The Lord here tells Arjuna that there is no point in understanding how things exist in their separate opulence and grandeur. He should know that all things are existing due to Krishna's entering them as Supersoul. From Brahma, the most gigantic entity, on down to the smallest ant, all are existing because the Lord has entered each and all and is sustaining them. There is a mission that regularly propounds that worship of any demigod will lead one to the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Supreme Goal. But worship of demigods is thoroughly discouraged herein because even the greatest demigods like Brahma and Shiva represent only part of the opulence of the Supreme Lord. He is the origin of everyone born, and no one is greater than him. He is asamodhva, which means that no one is superior to him and that no one is equal to him. In the Padma Purana, it is said that one who considers the Supreme Lord Krishna in the same category with demigods, be they even Brahma or Shiva, become at once an atheist. You can recall that this is the first offense of the 10 offenses, to think that Lord Vishnu is equal to Brahma or Shiva. If, however, one thoroughly studies the different descriptions of the opulences and expansions of Krishna's energy, then one can understand without any doubt the position of Lord Sri Krishna, and can fix his mind in the worship of Krishna without deviation. The Lord is all pervading by the expansion of his partial representation, the Supersoul, who enters into everything that is. So even Paramatma is just a partial representation of Krishna. It's not a complete representation of Krishna. Because as we know, the Vishnus have 60 of the 64 qualities that the Lord has. Therefore, they are not also complete representations of the Supreme. Pure devotees therefore concentrate their minds in Krishna consciousness in full devotional service. Therefore, they are always situated in the transcendental position. Devotional service and worship of Krishna are very clearly indicated in this chapter in verses 8 through 11. That is the Chatushloki. That is the way of pure devotional service. How one can attain the highest devotional perfection of association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead has been thoroughly explained in this chapter. Srila Baladev Vidya Bhushana, a great acharya in disciplic succession from Krishna, concludes his commentary on this chapter by saying, Yat Shaktileshat Suryadhya Bhavantyatugrat Tejasah Yadamshena Dhritam Vishwam Sakrishna Dashamechya Achyate. From Lord Krishna's potent energy, even the powerful sun gets his power. And by Krishna's partial expansion, the whole world is maintained. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna is worshipable. From another parampara, Sri Krishna's statement indicates that he has already answered the question. Now, of his own accord, he wants to tell something remarkable. Having revealed many amazing aspects of his splendor, he says that the magnitude of his glory cannot be judged even from the sum total of what he has described. The 82 opulences that the Lord has described, even if you add all those opulences together, it doesn't make for even a smidgen of what the opulences really are. For the entire creation of unlimited universes is held within a fraction of his being. Why does he make a reference to a fraction of his being here? The reason is that the entire material creation consisting of unlimited universes is only 1/4 of God's entire manifestation. The remaining 3/4 is the spiritual creation. Padoshya Vishwabhutani Tripadasyamritam Divi. This temporary world made from the material energy is but one part of the Supreme Divine Personality. The other 3 parts are his eternal abodes that are beyond the phenomenon of life and death. Interestingly, Sri Krishna is in front of Arjuna within the world, yet he reveals that the entire world is within a fraction of his being. This is like the story of Ganesh and Lord Shiva. Once sage Narad gave Lord Shiva a very special fruit. Lord Shiva's 2 children, Kartikeya and Ganesh, both began demanding the fruit from him. Lord Shiva thought that if he would give it to any one of them, the other would think that their father was biased. So Lord Shiva announced a competition for his 2 children. Whoever circumambulated the entire universe and came back to him first would get the fruit. On hearing this, Kartikeya immediately started off to circumambulate the universe. He was athletically and powerfully built and decided to take advantage of it. In comparison, Ganesh had a plump body and felt he was handicapped in competing with his brother. So Ganesh decided to make up for it by using his intellect. Lord Shiv and Parvati were standing there. Ganesh circumambulated them thrice and then announced, Father, I have done it. Please give me the fruit. Lord Shiva, but how have you gone around the universe? You have been with us all the while. Ganesha said, Father, you are God. The entire universe exists within you. If I have gone around you, I have gone around the entire universe. Lord Shiva had to agree that his son Ganesh was very smart, and indeed he had won the competition. Just as Lord Shiva was standing in one place, and yet the entire world was contained in him, similarly, Sri Krishna announces to Arjuna that the entire creation consisting of unlimited material universes is held within a fraction of his being. And some very nice commentary by His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. So the whole of existence is pervaded by just one fraction of mind. This has multiple meanings. One, Krishna pervades the world through the Supersoul. Before Mahavishnu, all are in the spiritual world. They do not interact with material nature. Last, there are three Purusha avatars. They interact with material nature, but they do not get contaminated by them. So the Purusha avatars do not exist in the spiritual world. They only exist as long as the material universe is there. So at the time that the material cosmos goes back into Mahavishnu's body, then the other two avatars do not exist. Mahavishnu is the super soul of all existence, not just of one universe, but all universes. It is from him everything comes along. Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is the super soul of each universe. Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is Paramatma. He is present in the top loka of Brahma Loka and also in Kshirosagar. But along with that, he is also present as the super soul in the heart of all living beings. So now Krishna is saying that Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is all pervading. So I was reading somewhere that Kshirodakashayi Vishnu lays at the very bottom of all the sum total of universes. So some people think that Vishnu is the source. As through Vishnu, avatars come. Demigods approach Vishnu for help, and Vishnu assures them that an avatar will come. But Vishnu is not the source. He is the gateway. Prayers go to Vishnu, and there are so many avatars in the spiritual world. And as per requirement, a specific avatar comes down. From the point of view of people in this material world, Vishnu was prayed to and then Krishna came. So they think Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu. So, from the limited perspective of this world, the point is true. But beyond the perspective of this world, the complete reality is as explained above. So, there are many people who will argue and say, but then Krishna is just an avatar of Vishnu. How can you say that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead? That's because the Devatas were worshipping Vishnu and asking him to intervene and ensure that Dharma was restored. But people don't understand that in the spiritual universe, there is a place called Golok Vrindavan where Lord resides. So even though it was Lord Vishnu who was being worshipped, Krishna came, but Krishna does not come from Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu comes from Lord Krishna. So there is a material perspective and there is a larger spiritual perspective. In the spiritual world, he manifests all 64 qualities, unlike Lord Vishnu, who manifests 60 qualities. Rupa Madhuri, Venu Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, and Prema Madhuri or Bhakti Madhuri. Bhakta Madhuri is so special that Lakshmi Devi desires to enter into what the gopis are getting. And she wanted to enter into the Rasa Leela. From the Rasa point of view, there is a difference. So there is a pastime where Lakshmi Devi also wanted to have the experience of dancing with Lord Krishna. And she does many years of intense tapas. But she was never allowed to cross the Yamuna river. She could only see the Rasa Leela from a distance. Why? Because her mood was different. Her mood is that she is being worshipped in Vaikuntha with complete opulence. And a whole lot of assistants are serving her in that process. So she has to give that up in order to enter into the Rasa Leela. And because of her position, she cannot give it up. She will always be Lakshmi Devi, full of opulence in the Aishwarya Bhav. So Aishwarya Bhav cannot intermingle with the Prema Bhav. And of course, that Prema Bhav comes in the form of servitude, friendship, parenthood, and as a lover. So to recap this entire chapter that we have been reading. So shlokas 1 to 7, Krishna himself says, nobody knows me. Why? Because I am the source of everything that exists. How can how can one understand the source? Because we have actually emanated from the source. Then shlokas 8 to 11 was the Chatushloke Gita. And the summary of this Chatushloke is that only those who are practicing intense, pure devotional service and also by the grace of Krishna can know Krishna. So in the first 7 shlokas, Krishna says, no one can know me. But in shlokas 8 to 11, Krishna says, but only my bhaktas can know me. So in shlokas 12 to 18, Arjuna accepts Krishna's glories and he says, Asita, Devala, Narada have all said that you are the Supreme Lord. I also accept it. But now I want to hear more about you, about your opulences. And in response to that ask from Arjuna, Krishna from shlokas 19 up to, I think, 40 describes his opulences. And Krishna says, how can you always think of him? By simply experiencing all of his vibhutis in the material universe itself. His vibhutis also exist beyond the material universe, but one can understand that the Supreme Lord is the source of everything, and therefore anything and everything that we see in this world, we can understand as his magnificence, as his opulences.
If you like our videos, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell notification. If you'd like to join our classes every day, please check the details in the description section of this video. We look forward to serving you.